the U.S. would be the fourth country to move forward with Pfizer's vaccine. Canada approved the vaccine on Wednesday, and the U.K. began administering shots this week. Bahrain has also granted access to the vaccine. So back with us now to talk about the next steps is Peter Pitts, former FDA Associate Commissioner. Peter, good to have you back with us today. Let's start with the vaccine in adolescents. The committee recommends it for people 16 years and older. It wasn't a unanimous vote or a decision to get this authorized. So what are the concerns when it comes to giving the shots to adolescents?
Well, it comes down to data. The FDA believes that it can extrapolate the data that Pfizer and BioNTech have provided to also provide the EUA, the emergency use authorization for people 16 and up. Some of the committee members disagreed. That discussion came at the very end of a very long and arduous day. It was a bit of a temper tantrum, quite frankly. I think that at the end of the day, if we had all kept our heads about us, we would have had a unanimous vote. But a 17-4 approval is a hearty thumbs up to the EUA. I think we can all be convinced now that both outside experts as well as the FDA believe that the data is robust, that the vaccine is safe and highly effective, and that we can move forward. Hopefully, we can see the FDA actually taking action to grant the EUA, possibly as early as today, Saturday, or Monday. So we're moving ahead very quickly, and I think the big takeaway from the meeting yesterday is that the public can have faith both in the vaccine and in the process.
Yeah, this is a really big news here. Now, the UK, I already mentioned, has already given shots this week. At least 2 people were reported to have severe allergic reactions. Now, is this normal? And what else are health experts keeping an eye on, particularly in the UK, as they administer these shots?
It's important to kind of segregate the discussion of side effects and adverse events. In the UK, what we saw were a couple of people who already have severe allergies having a severe allergic reaction. They both recovered relatively quickly and are now on their way to regaining their health. They've been vaccinated, so everybody's happy on that front. The UK has decided to issue a warning for people who have severe allergies to be concerned about the vaccine. That's appropriate. But again, we can't take that too far because generally speaking, the side effects that most people have are headaches, fatigue, muscle pain, sight soreness, kind of your basic light flu symptoms. So it's important to understand the data, but to understand it in context.
Now, next week, the same advisory panel will meet again to consider Moderna's COVID-19 vaccine. What do we know about their success so far in trial runs?
Their data relative to safety and efficacy is about the same as Pfizer, about 95%, so very high. Also, the technology that both Pfizer, BioNTech, and Moderna are using is messenger RNA, mRNA technology. So that discussion will happen as well. I think what we'll see is that the committee is much more aware of the type of data that was collected, how that data was reviewed, and what the data tables look like. So it becomes kind of a data-driven proposition. So it'll be a little geeky, to watch it, but I think it's important. And I suspect that at the end of the day, they will also approve that. They will recommend it rather for the FDA to approve. I also think that the FDA will ask for a 16 and older cohort, to be approved for. So we'll see how that conversation proceeds. But I suspect that will also have a overwhelming vote to approve the Moderna vaccine.
And we can't forget about the other top candidates in the running as well, AstraZeneca, Johnson & Johnson. What's the status with their COVID-19 vaccines at this point in their trials?
That's a really important point. Unfortunately, the AstraZeneca-Oxford vaccine has had some setbacks relative to their clinical trials and their data collection, but they're righting the ship there. Johnson & Johnson, you mentioned, also Merck and other companies are developing COVID-19 vaccines. And that's important to recognize because this is not a one-and-done proposition. These vaccines will get iteratively better over time. So, for example, the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines require 2 injections. The Pfizer vaccine is 2 injections 3 weeks apart, and the Moderna vaccine is 2 injections 4 weeks apart. That's obviously not optimal relative to patient compliance. People don't like having to get shots twice. And I don't think anybody does. But as we move forward, I think we'll have vaccines that will require only a single dose. And also we'll have vaccines going forward, probably next year or the year after, that might be indicated for specific audiences, older audiences, pediatric audiences. So the important thing to recognize now is this is the first vaccine. People ask me, what vaccine should I get? Should I wait? I think the right answer is get the first vaccine that's available to you. Let's go forward. Let's run as fast as we can towards herd immunity, where we really begin to move from mitigating the virus, which means the virus is in control, to containing the virus, which means we're in control. And we're well on our way to get that done.
Absolutely. We'll be waiting for that announcement from the FDA. Peter Pitts, as always, appreciate your insight. Thank you again for your time today.
My pleasure. Stay healthy.